All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I wanted to welcome everyone to today's insight session. Today, we'll be talking about how to do some dashboarding within Stratum as part of our flexible information delivery methodology. This is just another way to get your data out and visualize it using some of the Stratum-based features for dashboarding and graphical visualization. And then we'll talk about how to get into the Stratum Dashboard Designer to create um, some more dashboards from scratch, or to update existing ones. And then we'll talk about, and then we'll go into a demo. If you have any questions, feel free to use the chat feature. Today we'll be talking about Stratum Analytics, which is on the getting data out of Stratum side of the graphical. As you can see, getting out Stratum Analytics, we use our dashboards among many other different methods to get data out of Stratum. You can also use the Access Hub down below to get Stratum into Power BI or Excel, or to email reports out to your users. So any of those features, if you're interested, you can contact me and we can talk about that. But today we'll be focusing on the dashboarding features. And we do have new charts that are available, but you do need to be on version 7.4 in order to gain access to those charts. Um, this kind of goes through different features about the dashboarding. As you can see, you do need 7.1 or greater to actually get the dashboard feature. And then 7.4 will give you the new updated charts that are available for the dashboard. It the designer itself is a drag and drop situation. It's pretty easy to use. I'll show you how we can go in and create some quick dashboards. You can also link to other websites. We do have a widget that allows you to link to other areas of your business, whether that's a website or other reports that you can gain access to via URLs, Power BI reports, etc. And again, bottom line is, this could help you create some pretty simple dashboards that are effective, professional looking, and will help your users gain more access and insight to your data. So here's just an example of what a dashboard could look like within Stratum. As you can see, we support different types of visualizations, from bar charts to pie charts, line charts, maps even are available. So you can map out your data. The designer is accessed through the hamburger menu in the upper right-hand corner of the interface. And as you can see, you get into the dashboard menu via that menu, manage things and dashboards. And I'll show you how to get to that. Here we can see that the dashboard designer is a separate instance of the browser. So that'll pop up and allow you to start working with the dashboards within another instance. And I'll show you how that works. Once you get into the dashboard designer, as you can see, you get into an edit mode, which will allow you to gain access to the different views that are available within Stratum. And at that point, then you can start dragging and dropping the views into the dashboard area, and it will assign the graphic that you select, whether it's the different types of charts. You'll see that there's an opportunity to make that selection as you select your views. Once you bring in a widget into your dashboard, there's a lot of settings that you can create or update. The view name, there's different things that you could hide from the view. So if you're showing like a data grid from a view, there's different ways to make it cleaner by hiding perhaps the view name, the view filter, the view image, the paging controls, icons, and the view explorer. As you can see, there's different areas that you can hide within the view. And then you can also link to content. There's another area that you can actually put in additional views for further detail. You can also put in URLs to other areas and to any other content that you would think would be appropriate to link the users to. The new charts in 7.4, as you can see, you'll have an opportunity to make a selection as to what type of chart that you want to create. And then once you make that selection, then you can go in and select the view that you want to bring over into the dashboard. And it will automatically chart your data, and then you can go in and customize it as needed. Here we can see that once we get into we bring in a chart to the dashboard, we can go into the edit item to make the necessary customizations to the chart. Then the customizations, you can go in and you can select different areas of the view that you brought in. The view may have multiple columns of data. You can actually go in and make your selections as needed. Um, deselect certain columns that you may not want to show within the dashboard. You can customize the chart. You can actually change the type of chart at any time. So if you want to change the chart type or customize the chart or the legend, this will allow you to go in and do that as well. The custom widget, as I discussed earlier, you can bring that in and you can link that to other reports, whether those are within SSRS, Power BI, or any other things that you can link to using the URL. That's my name. You can contact me at any time. Send me an email, give me a call if you want to discuss, how to get the dashboard and how to use it. I'd be glad to help you. So certainly give me a shout if you need any help with that. Gonna pop into the demo. All right, we're gonna go and see how we get access to the charts. Here I'm within Stratum. I've got the latest version running, and as you can see, the hamburger menu over here on the right hand side. Once I select that and I highlight Manage Things, I am able to access the dashboard designer. Here we can see that there's different dashboards that are available, and then this one here is kind of an older dashboard. It's actually looking at some views, some graphical views that we have within Stratum. So it's using the old graphics that you can do within the view. So that's certainly available, and you can still do it that way if you'd like. But we also have, you know, the upgraded graphics, which will look like that. So that's essentially some of the dashboards that we've created with the updated graph and visualizations that are available in 7.4 version. And as you can see, there's a map. So if you have, like, for instance, it's state associated to your customers, um, zip code, or any type of geolocation data, you could then map out your data and then hover over. As you can see, I can hover over the states to see, what my numbers are by state year to date for my dollars and my units. The dashboard does allow you to open the view behind the graphic. So if you want to see the data by state, and then you can drill into further detail. So if you wanted to see who your customers were for a given state, this will allow you to drill to detail. So from the dashboard, as you can see, you got an elegant way to get to the data behind the dashboard. So if you wanted to see, what Illinois' customers were, I can get to that very easily and drill down and see further detail. Identify what customers they're purchasing within the state of Illinois, and what product categories, what products. As you can see, I can very quickly and easily get that data for the Illinois side of things. Here's my Illinois accounts. And what did it say? Illinois at 39 mil. So I can put on a quick total here if I wanted to and show in. I believe we're handling the totals by the levels. So if I want to see what the total is real quick, just to see if that foots 37.9. 37.9. So it is spot on. That looks really good. And the data seems to be matching to the dollar there. Okay, so we've got the data available here and the graphic obviously available still as well. And that's just an example of one piece of data that you have available, one view. Here I've got another graphic below the map that I can see as well within my dashboard, and then a few other bar charts as well that are available that I can see how the data is going. And the way this has been constructed, it's been planned and thought about. Obviously, here are my top 10 customers, year-to-date sales, in terms of customers growing, and then these are the customers that are decreased this year versus last year. These are the negative variances for customers year to date. So here are my growth customers, and then I've got some customers here that are not doing so well. So this graphic, it tells a good story. You get a good clue as to who some of your top accounts are in terms of growth or negative growth. And then you also have the ability to go in and uh, chart out the data using a bar chart and a comparison situation, so you can kind of see the negative growth there for some of the accounts, and then the positive growth for some of the accounts as well. Once again, I can then jump to those views behind the data and do the necessary drill downs if I wanted to see, what market or region these sales are occurring in. The same thing, right? I can actually jump to the data behind the graphic. Other ideas and other dashboards, as you can see, I've got customer sales. I can do a division sales. So this one is more divisional centric. And as you can see, you can line up the data so you can see your divisions and how they look by month throughout the year. I can do area charts for my top customers, current month, top 10 products, top 10 customers. So that's a good example of an area chart. And then more bar chart comparisons this year versus last, top 10 selling products and top 10 customers. Gross margin. So this one is more margin focused. So hopefully you see, and this is something that we're packaging and making available, these pre-configured dashboards. And as you can see, I can come in and see my divisional margins, my profits, looking good. Looks like they're growing. Here's a combinational chart showing my gross margins this year versus last, and then my margin percents as a line chart. Top product sales, top customer sales by sales margin. So kind of the same common themes. Some of them are a little bit different looking. One of them has a map in it. You can certainly have a general theme throughout your dashboards. Putting some commonality to it is probably a good practice. And but as you can see, and then the coloring, is something that you can consider as well, just to make it just give it a little bit more pop. So if I were to go into the designer and let's take a look at how to create some of these dashboards like for instance from scratch. If I wanted to create a new dashboard, I can go to the designer, click on the plus sign, give the dashboard a name, um, whatever it is that you're trying to create, sales dashboard, name it whatever you think it should be named. And then right away you'll get a tip that'll come up and you can read about how to use the different graphical icons that'll drive what chart that you'll get within your dashboard. Now, so I'm in the edit mode now, and now I've got access to my views within the dashboard or within the designer. So if I wanted to select a given view within one of my view groups, and then I will select any type of graph that I want to select or a data grid. So you have the selection of a chart, a cost column chart, you've got a bar chart, different types of line charts, pie charts, and then a data grid. So we'll start with a simple this year versus last bar chart, and we'll take a comparative sales view and we'll drag and drop that over. And right away, it'll try to graph the data. And as you can see, it needs a little help only because, I know I have more than one column of data within that view. So if I go into my edit mode, edit this item, I can click on that and I can edit the data or the chart type. So I'm going to go into the chart data and I'm going to deselect, the columns that I don't want to chart. I just want to select within my view the columns that are basically this year and last year. So I'm just deselecting the ones I don't want to include. And that should clean it right up. And as you can see, it looks a lot better. While we're here, I can go into my chart type and format. And if I wanted to change any one of these charts, um, change it to, a different type of chart so I can kind of get a feel for what it would look like. And I can play with them here and get a better feel for what they would look like with different charts selected. As you can see, you can go into more and I can change the chart completely um, to the different charts that are available, maybe a bar chart, the different stacked bar charts. So on the fly, as you can see, I can change things. I can do a comparative area chart, and play around with some of these and what they would look like. It's kind of cool what you can do within the designer. Once I select a given design that I like, and then I can select it and click OK. And now that becomes a nice looking graphic within my dashboard. Maybe if I wanted to put in a pie chart now, I can give myself a little bit more room and maybe use the same. I can definitely use the same view to create my pie as well. So hopefully you see kind of the concept here of grabbing and creating your the different types of charts that you want to use is very easy to grab those up here from the icon selection. Maybe I want to show the actual view, the data grid, and I can then drag and drop that down here, and it'll just simply show me the actual data within the view. So now I've got a graphic, and then obviously I've got some data, a data grid that I can drill in on and see what the detail is behind some of the product brands. Now the graphic won't change. Obviously, when I drill into some of these areas, the data grid will reflect my drill downs, but the graphs aren't attached to that, so those will remain just the way they are. Now, once you're ready to push this out to your users, you can then come in and first of all, you stop your edit mode once you're ready to kind of publish this out to the user base. And then if you notice, I can right click over here on the dashboard itself on the left-hand side, and I can open this in a new tab. And this will give me the URL that I can copy and paste that. I could put that into my home page for Stratum. Maybe if I go into manage application, and I can use that as my global URL if I wanted to like push this out to all my users. So now my homepage is now the dashboard instead of the standard default homepage that you get with Stratum. Okay. So pretty simple to use, as you can see. I can create different graphics that are available. Users can come in once they get access to the dashboard. They can kind of hover over these different visuals, get data points from them, and then if they wanted to, they can then jump to the view behind the graphic and do additional drill downs as needed and get that detail that they're looking for.